Nobody's Fool, 1994. This film stars Paul Newman as Donald Sullivan, or Sully as he's known throughout this film. And Sully reminds me of the hero pilot who landed the a airliner that was stricken onto the Hudson. This was around 20 years earlier, and it's about a man who is um, not very popular in town. Not even he's estranged from his own son to some extent. He's makes connections in this film. Um, his son has a family. Everyone's fairly disdainful about Sully, although because he chats up married women, and as that's described in the dialogue, 60-year-old, someone talking to him, 60 years old and still getting crushes on other men's wives. That's what someone says. I mean, the assumption is he's a philanderer. I mean, it's all um, heteronormative stuff, this. I don't think there are. I can't recall an LGBTQIA plus character in this film, but it was the 90s. It was a long time before it was that acceptable, I guess. Um, so the story is um, complicated, I think. I mean, it seems to follow his life as he does things that aren't exactly. He keeps stealing a snowblower, and I don't know if I missed something early on that explains the reason why he does it, because it does seem to be stealing. Don't think it's his, but he seems to be summarily dismissed or sacked from a particular job, and maybe it's him getting his own back on the company. But he even with his son, and because he can't climb over his fence, he gets his son to do it. He buys some. Oh no! Oh, shall I say this? Yeah, I'll explain this bit. But I don't obviously want to get into a lot of detail on the film because you want to enjoy it. Um, but he buys some steak or some meat and puts it in sleeping pills and puts it under the fence for a dog to eat, and that um, means that his son can climb over and retrieve the snowblower. Don't know how he gets the snowblower over the fence. That's not shown. Um, so there's a lot about it. It's quite comic. I mean, for start, do the um, do the sleeping pills work on the dog? I'm not going to say. Watch the film. Um, there's another scene later when he's driving along with his son, and now I've seen this clip actually on the internet separately, not in the trailer, but I think it's common. But I won't say exactly what happens, but I'll explain the start, which is that his son says, um, uh, you know, oh, it isn't his son? It's the police actually notice that he's driving along the sidewalk following a chap who's quit from their group. Seems to be a group, and he's annoyed that this guy has quit. So he follows him along. He's walking on the street. When he goes on the pavement, he follows him on the pavement. The police get involved, drive in front of him. There's one police officer who says, police officers, oh, he's played by, Officer Rayner, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, says, you're driving on the sidewalk. He pulls a gun on him, and Sully says to his son, he's not going to shoot at us. His son's an adult. I'll explain that. And then um, Officer Raymer actually fires a gun, not at them. And the the son says, "I vote we surrender if I have a vote." So he's kind of he's got his own kids, and this estrangement going on, but um, Sully's trying to make connections again and make it happen, and that's the impression I got. I mean, he's trying to be. I guess he's trying to be more alive. So there's some really good stuff as well. A real touching moments when, and it's shown in the trailer. Someone's grandmother is walking on the road in nightwear, and um, the adult grandchild um, says, "Oh, um, she's walking on the road. She may be having a senior moment. Let's call it that." And what Sully does, he goes out and catches up with her and sweet talks her as he gently brings her back to safety. So that moments like that, I think are lovely, especially since someone who might be losing their mind needs a very gentle coaxing. So he understands people to some extent. So there's moments like that that I really like. Do you? Oh gosh, there's people like Jessica Tandy plays Beryl Peoples, whom he shares a property with. I mean, he is the lodger, and it's her property. And the fact is, she's worried that if he moves out, um, she'll be declared senile herself. And that's really tragic. She doesn't want to lose her independence. And I know, I mean, imagine that. I've seen a lot of films more like where it goes really wrong. Um, I mean, How May I Help? I think it's like the film with Rosamund Pike. That definitely is a film I'd like to review sometime soon. But this film, I mean, Beryl has her marbles. She's fine, but the way older people get treated, where they aren't considered okay enough to um, live independently. I mean, you see, it's one of the most valuable things a human being has, their agency. And so taking that away from a person is utterly heartbreaking, I think. And so this and I think the film at the end of the film it says for Jessica Tandy, so I think this is a tribute to her. May have been her last film. There's also Bruce Willis, and we're talking about another heartbreak as such, but I mean at this time he was playing Carl Roebuck, who's younger. Um, this character called Rub Squeers. I don't know. Rub seems to be a nickname, but um, there's quite a lot about this film that I didn't really understand. Maybe because the storyline is simply following Sully as he carves a new path in his life. He develops a new attitude. He is really um, develops his personality in a good way. Now he's 60 years old. I think great, absolutely. So it's very life affirming. There's a lot about this film I like, but it does feel aged. It feels dated to the 90s, and because of um, the sort of lack of, how women are treated compared to men. I mean, it's subtle. It's there's a lot. I probably might explain more if I do a second, you know, um, a second review after a second viewing at some point in the future. I mean, I would like to see why he steals snowblowers. That I mean, it's set in winter, so that scene with the grandma walking along, very vulnerable. Um, you know, Sully exhibits his humanity, and um, a lot of the other characters similarly are show their humanity. So it's not a straightforward adversarial film, but there's strong elements of that, probably because he's developed a bad reputation in some ways. So I think I'll leave the film at that. I'm going to score it 7.5. I think anything over 5 is probably worth watching when it comes to films. Anything below 5, I think it's absolute rubbish. That's how my scoring system works. So 7.5 is about halfway through that, you know. Well, I tend to only go up to 9.5. Don't ever do films of 10, or I haven't yet. I think I might have done a 9.75, but this I've yeah, 7.5, uh, watchable, um, but very difficult to describe without going through the whole script, which I obviously don't want to do. I don't want to give away too much. So, an observation of human qualities centered on one particular protagonist in a small town. That's how I would summarize it. Um, so 7.5. Thanks if you like this review. Please leave your comments if you've seen this film. Um, Thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.